Alex Jones is right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, investors, hodlers, spenders, and developers, thank you for tuning in to another episode of O'Donnell for Liberty. As always, I'm your host, Justin. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep up to date for future shows. If you like what you see, you can follow that Patreon link in the description and head on over and join our production team. Tonight's stream is sponsored by the team over at United Punks Union. They've put together an awesome NFT project based on the punks we all know and love, but including more diversity and representation in their characters. The floor is low. They're still minting. It's a great time to adopt a punk, and you can head on over to their website, unitedpunksunion.org, to get more information about that today. And we're going to be giving away 2 of them on stream tonight to live viewers. So pay attention on how to win. And tonight, we're joined by entrepreneur, author, speaker, internet personality, the one and the only Gary Vee, to talk about the future of cryptocurrency technology and non-fungible tokens in the collectibles marketplace. We're going to give away some NFTs. We're going to take some questions. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you leave some comments and tell us what you think in the chat. Gary, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How's it going?
It's going well, Justin. How are you?
I am great. I'm so happy to have you here. For those of you who don't pay attention to me too much on Twitter, who haven't seen too much, being Gary got started with an argument, a disagreement, when V Friends was first launching. And I think my exact words were he shilling a product like a low-rent Tony Robbins.
I'm not sure I remember seeing that, but I definitely remember like the starting point. Like, that's too funny. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, I wanted Gary to come on here. So for those of you unfamiliar with the program, for those of you turning in for the first time, I talk a lot about cryptocurrency. I talk a lot about anarchist politics and reforming societal and government reform, and how cryptocurrency is a huge and beneficial tool to challenging central banking systems, democratizing access to financial systems, and helping people separate themselves from government control. To me, and to people like me, NFTs have always been the antithesis of that, using technology as not using the technology as activism, but for financial gain instead. But what you've done is to create such a massive community that's spurning adoption of not just NFTs and Ethereum, but all sorts of cryptocurrencies. My shirt says, "Don't assume my tender. Ask me what cool. I want to pay in." How did you get involved in crypto and NFTs in general?
There's a gentleman by the name of Aaron Battalion, really strong technologist, was the CTO of Living Social, went over to do a bunch of stuff in SF and be behind the scenes and help a lot of people. And we used to do this thing at South by Southwest when it was, before it kind of blew up into what it was, called a jam session. And we would sit in the hotel rooms, literally like in the Marriott, on the ground, 20, 30 people deep in 2007, 8, 9, 10, and just talk about like the future, right? Like the shit that we're doing. The reason I'm here now, because this again, and I don't know if you can see this, the goosebumps, right? Like that was when I really started to learn things that I didn't know. I've always been good about human behavior, but customer marketing, life, like that shit, but tech, like I would really learn tech there. And then I would give that it was amazing. And in 2014, maybe 13, 15, he's like, "Yo, Bitcoin." Him and a couple other real nerds were like, right? And I was like, all right, cool. And we talked and listened. It was above my head because I was like, blockchain. I didn't understand decentralized servers. But I got it enough to buy some Bitcoin. So I was like, okay, cool. So I bought some Bitcoin, right? A year later or two, he goes, "Yo, Ethereum," right? And it's like 15, 16. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to get the dates wrong, but that's the time frame, right? And that one really hit me. And I was like, oh, so you build on top of it? I remember thinking this, Justin, which I made a video because I still think there's a lot of interesting parallels to this. I was like, okay, so Bitcoin's going to be Apple and Ethereum's going to be Android, right? Like Bitcoin's going to be like this thing because it's the limitation of the code, right? And then like this build out thing, that's more like Android. And I remember just being fascinated by that. Like that was like my very undereducated kind of intuition. And so boom, I hear it, right? I don't really, I have it in a non-custodial, I have it, right? And then in my Coinbase, And then me and my brother AJ got a bunch of Dogecoin the day it came out, like free, like 0.00001 cents. And so it was there. And then, like I'm living life. I'm like busy. I'm doing shit. And it's not really like it's kind of like the way I am with VR right now. I wanted to be lightly in it and touching it a little. But it's funny with the way you set this up. I remember thinking, man, governments are not going to like this shit. Right. I remember thinking that. And, I don't know if you know this about me, Justin, but I was born in the Soviet Union. So, and grew up in a household that was very affected by socialism, communism, USSR. And then I grew up in America in the 80s. Right. So and then I grew up in the wine business. So I spent a lot of time in a lot of places. So, and I love geopolitical stuff. I'm into this shit. Right. So, and history was the only class. Actually, here you go. Glad I'm here. Might be hard to see. Oh, fuck. Where is it? But my report card, here it is. Like, it'll be hard to see, but like, actually, maybe not. Like, I was a very bad student if you look at these grades, but the only somewhat decent grades I would get were in history, right? So like, I'm a DNF student, but I would get like B's in history, right? So I'm really into this shit. And so then I hear about CryptoKitties in 17. And I look at it for
remember CryptoKitties. CryptoKitties, yeah. I lost a lot of Ethereum on CryptoKitties.
Yeah, I remember looking at it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like collectible. I got really, because I love that. You can see I'm all about that, wrestling figures and Thundercats and Transformers and sports cards and comics. So that's cool. That's really authentic to me. And then I didn't do anything. I didn't buy any. I didn't spend any of my Ethereum on that, which obviously worked out. And then March or April of last year, I started hearing a little something about CryptoPunks. I was busy. I was trying to navigate Vayner through COVID. I had a lot of responsibilities. Top Shot, I met with Roham in the summer. I was like, this is interesting. Realized he was the CryptoKitties guy. Realized he was building another chain. Heard about Flow. Got busy again in the summer. Really navigating a lot of headaches in my world. Top Shot explodes. I'm paying attention because I'm deep into sports cards at the time. And I say to myself, this winter break, I'm going to really get my shit together and spend some hours, understand what the fuck is going on, because something's going on. And so in late December, I really start going. And in early January, the first 14 days, 10 p.m. to 2 in the morning, Discords, Twitter, just learning, staying quiet because I don't like to talk about shit I don't understand. Learning, listening. And finally, I was like, I really believe this CryptoPunks project's important. And I bought some. And then I said, I really want to learn this thing. And the way I learned the internet in 95 and the way I learned social media and content in 2006 was I put myself in it. I never owned a computer, right, Justin, until I launched WineLibrary.com. And I never thought of myself as a public figure, had never made a piece of content until I was 30 years old. And made a video on this thing that I thought was going to explode called YouTube in 2006 and went all in. And that's what I said. I said, I have to make my own project to learn about this. And that's where VeeFriends was born. And I launched it May 12th. And I've been obviously very involved since.
And VeeFriends is just taking the fuck off out of nowhere. You launch it and the floor just evaporated and went high. CryptoPunks didn't do that. CryptoPunks was around a while before, like, kind of. Well,
I had the luxury of time, right? Like, I mean, there's like right now, if your project doesn't do decent, you really stink. Like, because it's complete hysteria, gold rush, completely irrational. 95% of the projects that are coming out during the summer 21 NFT life will absolutely go to zero. It's just, I'm completely convinced of that, or very low, or will be bad investments because the supply and demand of the reality and the value and the utility. Like, unfortunately, probably based on what I've gathered of you and why I wanted to do this show, a lot of the worst characteristics of capitalism are happening right now in NFT summer, right? Everyone's looking to maximize their finance. And so that's why I put out a post every day saying, please, it's good. Listen, careful. Yeah, not only be careful, we're in a tricky spot, we're in that internet stock 99 realm where, because this is what's nice about the gray hairs. I was there for internet 99, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. And every internet company went public and their stock was $200 a piece and it all went to zero, 98% of them, right? Even public companies, because they didn't have logic behind them. the amount of people that are buying PFP products right now that have no logic behind them. They don't even know anything about the founders. They have no idea how they're going to evolve it. Everyone claims on their roadmap they're going to do shit, but guess what? I can say that I'm going to climb a mountain. Does that mean I'm going to? Like, there's a lot of work to make these things worth what they are. And so this is going to be a big money losing moment for a lot of people, which is too bad and will turn some people off on it. But the macro concept of smart contracts and what it means is incredible.
Right. And to your point, like stuff is going to lose money. Stuff's at the bottom right now. Don't invest on things based on hype. Don't look at Gary's wallet and say, oh, I'm going to buy that. Don't look at my wallet and say, oh, I'm going to buy that. The stuff that I've bought is stuff that I thought was interesting. I'm an artist. I'm not buying anything that I knew had great like financial potential, is because I enjoyed the art.
I love that. And I do believe there's a real percentage of that, you know, and I just think that the hysteria of money makes people do bad things.
Right. And to that degree, like I was approached, I adopted a United Punks Union. They're a fork of CryptoPunks because what somebody saw in CryptoPunks that they wanted to improve was the representation and diversity of the characters as something that, you know, people want to be able to identify with the art that they appreciate. And I was super pumped when they reached out to me last night. We were talking last night, and let me bring it up. Please. You guys are going to have a chance, everyone in chat who wants to win. We're doing 2 giveaways today. First, United Punks Union has donated us 2 NFTs. This is the first one we're going to give away for the first half of the show, and you can enter to win it by typing into chat hashtag non-fungible. Anybody typing hashtag non-fungible into the chat, we're going to do a drawing in a bit, and I'm going to give that away to you. And that was a gift from the developers over at United Punks Union for us to help get their project off the floor. It's about diversity, it's about inclusion, and it's building off a project that we all know was successful and that everyone loved with punks.
That's cool. Nice.
So now, Gary, there's been a lot of hype. There's been a lot of hype around your V friends, a ton of hype around the price just exploding. I keep coming back to, I look at NFTs as something I appreciate the art, and that's why I want to buy them, not necessarily collectibles or investments. When I think about collectibles and investments, I want like tangible things. You had likened Bitcoin and Ethereum to Apple and Android. I've always likened them to gold and silver.
Makes sense.
Those are the things that
those are the more common analogies. Yeah. Makes sense.
But when it comes to like collectibles, to me, when I first started following you, it wasn't because of the crypto. It wasn't because of the investment advice. It wasn't even because of your business advice, your business talks. It was, you're talking about sports cards and actual tangible collectibles. Yeah. Because I'm a Magic the Gathering nerd.
Love.
I hold these cards. I hold pieces of cardboard worth more than my car.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what I consider to be
like you dream in Black Lotus.
Right. I dream in Black Lotus. I'm searching for one with a black border. I'm willing to trade up. But what is it like about the NFTs? Like, it's a promise. It's a receipt. Are you purchasing the hope that somebody's going to be hosting those files, that AWS never goes offline, the images will always be viewable on the blockchain? Like, there's so much that you can't control around an NFT that you're investing in. What do you advise people to think about stuff like that, as opposed to tangible physical collectibles?
It's a great fucking question. You know, I don't think anything we do in human life is guaranteed, yet people make subjective opinions that it is. Actually, I'll give you one. I believe more people are likely to damage their physical items than they are to get burned on blockchain long term. I could be wrong.
Oh, you're nowhere close to wrong.
So, you know, to me, like, your house may burn down. You may spill coffee on something. Like there's so much counterfeit stuff when you go up the ladder in collectibles. So, you know, to me, I think, you know, life comes with risks. This is why I have so much passion to repeat in perpetuity, just like the royalties of NFTs, on please, in these earliest days of new technologies, please play with money you can afford to lose. Please, 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 please. Because you're using that money to learn and get educated and enjoy. And then, to your point, And I love that, Justin. And this is something I've been saying more. Buy stuff you actually want to have. What's happening now in NFT land as of September 1st, 2021 is people are day trading NFTs.
That's crazy.
It's fine. And it's why day trading on internet stocks got so big back in the day, because technology was there. It's all fine. I just want to make sure people are eyes wide open to the moment we're in. But how do I answer the question you're saying? Look, if AWS goes away, there's a lot more stuff going on to me than what I lost in my bag on NFTs.
Fair. That's absolutely fair. I mean, I look at stuff like that because that's always in the back of my mind as somebody who deals primarily in crypto. Is like, if the internet goes away, like all the anarchists and everybody that I work with politically is all like crypto against the government. Like, what if the government turns off the internet?
Correct.
And that's always in the back of the mind, and that's why I still have.
It's so funny. I totally get it. I mean, diversifying things is, listen, with the amount of money that the government has printed, I've never been in a place in my life where I valued cash less, right? However, there's still always going to be a certain amount that I'm going to have that I want to have just in case, right? And so I think all of us have to think those ways. Look, I think people struggle with understanding history, meaning there used to be a time like America, where I'm sitting right now, right?
Yep.
This place wasn't even discovered that long ago in the scheme of things. It's fucking bananas. The world evolves and people are struggling with where we're going. And there's so much to do with that. But I think that always having things in somewhat of a balance, understanding what you're doing with eyes wide open, very important. And unfortunately, most people are not doing enough education. They read a headline, one friend says something, they get excited, and they start throwing around hard-earned time and money. And I wish they wouldn't. I wish they do more homework.
And another thing, like the tech itself is the root and the basis of all of this. The one hang up I see, whenever I see a piece of art that I really love and I go and click buy on OpenSea because they got it listed for like $30 and I'm like, I'd love to own this for $30. I know it's never going to be worth anything but what I value it at. And then it's like, oh, $200 in gas fees. I'm like,
yeah. As you should. I mean, I think Ethereum's incredible vulnerability. If the London fork doesn't materialize, when you look at Solana and Cardano and every other thing, Polkadot, like you've got so much going on. I love your t-shirt for that reason, right? Like, to me, I can't wait for this upcoming Christmas holiday break because I'm going to go so deep because I don't have time the way I want to. And you want to go deep in certain things and then you want to go wide. My excitement to diversify my tender, to get educated on the other chains, to know the difference between the Cosmos and the Polkadots and the Cardanos and the Solanos and all the other things that are going on, the layer twos and immutable this and Polkadot that. Like, I can't wait. I also don't, a lot of people ask me about that stuff and I'm like, I don't like talking about things I don't fully know yet. I'm very aware. I'm listening all the time. I'm poking and looking and learning and I'm excited about that stuff. But to your point, that gas situation is not sustainable long-term, even with the shocking lead that Ethereum has from a development standpoint. And it's going to be very interesting to watch over the next 24 months.
All right. Well, speaking of gas, I'm about to spend some gas. So you guys, we look like we have peaked out on entries to the first drawing. So I'm going to bring it up and we're going to draw live. Let's see who our winner is.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, you need to explain to me what you just did because I want to do that. What you just do right now,
I will send you the link. It's a StreamYard feature. All right, Life of Substance. First winner.
Let's go, Life of Substance.
Life of Substance. If you are in the VeeFriends Discord channel, I want you to send me a DM on Discord with your Ethereum address. And when I get that, we are going to send
Justin,
you
what's your Discord
NFT.
name?
My Discord is Justin O'Donnell. I'm in the VeeFriends server. I've been talking to everybody in the NFT chat for the couple weeks in the crypto chat and in general today. So you guys can hit me up on Discord. Life of Substance, send me your Ethereum address and we are going to send you over that first NFT.
That's nice.
All right. Now, how do you feel about ETH2? Have you looked into ETH2 at all with the migration to proof of stake? It's supposed to reduce the operational costs and make it easier and maybe lower gas fees or create a layer 2 settlement for NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, that's the London. I mean, that's exactly what, I know it's in motion. Aaron Battalion, again, I always give him a shout out because he's technically dramatically stronger than I. Hit me up somewhere about a month ago and said the first big hurdle just happened. It went better than I even thought it could. So I'm like, okay, this is somebody I've known for 20 years. I trust. But I'm optimistic from what I hear, but I also talk about the things I know versus what I don't. I'm not technically strong enough to know if it's fully there, on its way. I know it's going to take some time, and so I'm staying very vigilant. And obviously, I built VeeFriends on Ethereum. It's the place where I have the most knowledge base and comfort. For that reason, I'm hopeful that it does well. I'm not one. I'm worried about people not understanding the world is about abundance. If ETH2, right, is the greatest success of all time, there is a 0.00 chance that I'm not active in many other chains.
Right. I've got friends who actively work in development on Cardano. I've got friends who are telling me how great it is. I do some work with the PR and the advertising guys on Bitcoin Cash, and they're about to release the Smart BCH, their own side chain for NFTs on Bitcoin Cash. And I can tell you what, we're looking at gas fees of less than a penny per transaction.
Of course,
on that one. So
the makes all the sense in the world. And what was fun about NFTs is I went through the education. My big concern when I was buying CryptoPunks, and I went very heavy in January, Justin, which it was meaningful money to me. Once I understood that people could bridge over, right? Like I wanted to know, well, what if ETH is a complete disaster in 6 years and gone, right? And so to me, it's all very exciting to watch evolve. It's unprecedented times. What I can tell you is this: human beings are going to own digital assets at scale, both for utility, for access, for collectability, for transacting things. That is, to me, a foregone conclusion. Underneath that, the winning chains, all the other variables, that is still very early. I'll give you an example, Justin.
Yep.
Yahoo won a very competitive search game in 1995, 6, 7. Yahoo won. And then
what are they now?
And that's right. And so I've been around the block. ETH could be the dominant player for 7 years, and then Schmeeth can come out in 2031. So you just watch, you learn, you stay humble. My biggest problem right now is people that are advocating for whatever chain or currency are advocating from a point of financial interest and are digging in, and everyone's trying to tear down everybody else's things. And it's really unfortunate because it doesn't have to be that way. Just because you're all about Cardano or Solana or Bitcoin or Ethereum doesn't mean you need to shit on the other stuff. And I see that behavior everywhere, and I'm like, why?
All right. Well, Life of Sunshine just got in touch with me on Discord. Thank you, everybody, for tagging me and helping them find me. But we are getting ready to transfer. And the gas isn't that bad right now. I've seen it worse.
Hey, Just, knowing that you were setting that up while we were live, I want to go back to that point and get your point of view on this. Your thoughts on people advocating on the places where they have financial interest and spending an ungodly amount of time shitting on all the other chains. What's your take on that, given that you've been around this? I think it's such a unfortunate behavior.
I have this argument in politics a lot. I'm an anarchist, and in the anarcho-economics is a big debate when you have arguments between anarcho-capitalists and anarcho-communists about which one's real anarchy and whether or not capitalism and communism can coexist. And I try and tell people that in the absence of a state, you cannot have any one. Everyone will have to coexist. It's all based on voluntary interaction. So capitalists will do capitalist shit and communists will do communist shit. And they're going to have to trade with each other because the people on the commune that are going to be raising the meat and growing the food are going to have to sell it to pay their bills to the people in the city that are day trading and making everything what they making all the financial sector stuff as capitalist. there is no room for exclusivity. And in the cryptocurrency world, it's the Bitcoin maximalists. People are like, Bitcoin or nothing. It's only Bitcoin, nothing else. Everything else is garbage. That really drive me up a wall because I cannot fathom. It blows my mind where people think that there is only going to be one. Absent regulation, absent a government dictate, you're going to have a variety of competing currencies. And that is the beauty of what we call the free market.
Good? Yeah, it's not good.
I think it's great.
Me too.
I want to see Ethereum thrive. I want to see Bitcoin Cash thrive. I want to see Cardano thrive. I want to see Monero and Zcash thrive because that means there's more options for people. Yeah. And having options is what's the best.
Agreed.
All right. Sunshine, the transaction is settled. You should be able to see that in your OpenSea wallet now. Gary, they begged me to tell you that they are your biggest fan.
Thank you. They're very sweet. Thank you, Sunshine.
All right. Now, you guys, again, I said we're going to give away 2 on the show. And let me set up.
Hey, just real quick, because I want to be, you're aware that I have a hard stop in a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
So as I'm setting this up, Gary, tell us about your new project. You've been hyping it up a little bit. You haven't been saying much. What can you tell us about the next steps for VeeFriends?
Listen, I swear to God, this is like the greatest thing that ever happened to me, being at the forefront of VeeFriends and being the jockey riding that horse. I'm going to make you and everybody in my community and everybody watching from the sidelines proud, because and that's the word I'm going to use. Whether people started off liking me or didn't or whatever, I'm spending the next 45 years of my life, Justin, building up these VeeFriends characters. They're also based on the things that I value the most as a human being: gratitude gorilla, empathy elephant. Like I want to turn characters that are part Care Bears, part Pokemon, part superheroes into cultural icons like Mickey Mouse and Pikachu and the Red Power Ranger and Harry Potter, but the underlining principles around accountability and kindness and patience. And so, I'll be flirting with things for the rest of my life, because every day that you don't see me, every day that I'm a little less active on Discord and Twitter, means I'm on a full slate of meetings trying to create awareness and success for these 268 characters. So I'm in full Walt Disney, Vince McMahon mode in perpetuity.
Awesome. Now, you guys, like Gary said, he does have a hard stop coming up soon. And I know you all want to ask Gary questions. I want you to ask Gary questions. I want Gary. Why don't
we do this? Why don't somewhere in October I come back for 30 minutes of Q&A, because I like you. I've enjoyed my interactions. Now I like you even more. I've enjoyed this show. I have to go because it's a family thing, so I have to go. But in October, you and me for 30, predominantly Q&A, because I wanted to get to that part, and I like you. I don't know what to say.
All right. Well, we're going to do it. We will set it up. I will talk to your admins. We will definitely get that set up, Gary.
Have a great Labor Day weekend, brother.
Absolute pleasure. Enjoy your holiday, bud.
You too. Bye, everybody.
Everybody else, thank you guys for staying on. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you can see scrolling on the bottom now, type hashtag HODL in chat to be entered to win the second drawing. We're going to give this a few more minutes. We're going to make sure we get another winner. And in the meantime, if you have cryptocurrency centric questions that you want to ask me, type those in chat. If not, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and make sure you share this with your friends. This was a live show, and it's going to continue to be available on YouTube. Gary had great insights, and we want to keep those insights going, because the more people that see those insights, the more people that hear what we have to say, the more people that you tell about the gains you've had and the friends you've made and the community you have found in cryptocurrency, the more it's likely it is to be adopted. And the more people adopting cryptocurrency, the more people utilizing cryptocurrency, not just as collectibles, but as currency, as a part of their everyday life, the better we are situated moving forward. So let's get to this drawing. Let me bring it back up. Share screen. And we're going to draw for our second punk giveaway from United Punks Union. Again, everybody, I want you to go check them out. They have been awesome. They made this doable for us. UnitedPunksUnion.org. We are drawing our second winner of the night. Who's it going to be? William Mullins. Awesome. William, congratulations. You have won the second punk giveaway of the night from UnitedPunksUnion.org. Again, find me on Discord. Everyone will tag you in the general chat on the Free Friends server because they're awesome and they will make sure you find me. And get me, shoot me over your Ethereum address, and we are going to get you that punk. And just so everybody can see the punk that you won, let me bring him up. Courtesy again of UnitedPunksUnion.org. Everybody, if you didn't win, always next time. Always keep checking out. Check out UnitedPunksUnion.org. Their floor is low. They're still minting. It's time to get in on an awesome and fantastic project. Help them out and get it off the ground. You won't regret it. I don't regret it. The community is fantastic over on their Discord as well. But beyond that, again, remove. It has been a fantastic show. You guys have been awesome. This was a short show. Gary's great, but he's coming back. Next time Gary's here, we're just going to do Q&A. Henry's asking, what do I think about the Crypto Zoo NFT? I haven't looked at it at all. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I am not a fan of Logan Paul or Jake Paul as content creators or as what they do. So it wasn't anything that captured my interest, but those dudes are hustlers. Okay. For all, whatever I feel about them, they are going to work to make that project something. So if it's something you're interested in, do your research, learn about the project, learn about the tech. Why United Union Punks? Josh, to me, it was about the representation. It was about the uniqueness of the characters. It was about taking something that existed with the punks and making it better. To me, it was more unique. It was more creative. They don't just have a handful of different punk characters with variations. They have different gender identities, sexualities, different races and species. There's lizard punks, there's ape punks, there's alien punks, there's robot punks. They have their own language that's in the metadata in the description. They have a little blurb about themselves, and each one has their own favorite song, and it's all unique. It's all on blockchain, and you can view it all in the metadata. It links right to the YouTube for their favorite song. Each punk has a personality. That's something that's incredible to me. And again, they're still minting. UnitedPunksUnion.org. You can go and mint directly there. If the floor is low, you can buy them on OpenSea. There is a secondary market. Some on the secondary market have been going for high as $5,000 to $10,000 already, but the floor is still really low to mint new ones. So you guys should most certainly check them out. My top undervalued NFT projects. I don't really have anything that I can see right off the top. Again, I haven't done too much research on what is undervalued other than the punks that I like and the punks that I've bought. I looked into the Panda project that people are having some issues with. I really liked their idea of using it for charity. And that actually brings up another thing. For you guys who are watching, and for you guys who do want to help support charity and you want to use cryptocurrency for something that is making waves and changing the world, I did mint a special NFT to help commemorate this episode with Gary. That NFT, I'm going to bring it up for y'all. It's just a show card from this episode. O'Donnell for Liberty. It's a one-of-a-kind. There's nothing special about it. I don't think you'll see any resale value on it, but the auction is going to run until September 15th, just to commemorate this episode, how fun it was to have Gary on, how excited we are to have Gary back, and all proceeds are going to go to charity. There's a local community center here in Manchester, New Hampshire, that they're coming up against a deadline to purchase a building so they can be permanent and be able to continue serving the community. And what I want to do is do something, use NFTs to help them, help these community centers grow, help these community centers serve their communities. And this is one way we're going to do it to raise money. So any proceeds from the sale of this NFT, the link is in the description of the live stream on YouTube. You guys can go check it out. All proceeds will go to helping that community center purchase their own building so they can have a permanent home to serve our community here in New Hampshire. Immutable this, Immutable X, and L2 will bring VV to the blockchain. Top 5 most grossing app on the App Store. Sure. Anonymous is shilling in the chat. I don't know what that's all about. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, Josh. Thank you, everybody who had something to say. We're going to call this a wrap, and I look so forward to having you all back next time when we bring Gary back in October. And Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you leave some comments. Make sure you share this content with your friends. Make sure that you tell your friends about the projects that excite you, and make sure you tell your friends about how cryptocurrency can change their lives. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to catch more, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications for future episodes. You can follow me directly on Twitter at O'Donnell, the number 4NH, to keep up to date with what I'm working on. And if you want to be among the first to support this channel, check out our Patreon link in the description. And as always, don't forget to head on over to sneckswag.com to get your freshest Liberty swag today. Until next time, be free everybody.